Welcome to the Tales of Gaia. Gaia is a yet-to-be-released RPG that you can play also online with friends, or you can play tabletop. We're going to be recording 3 different shows. This one is called The Circus, and this is our first recording. Yay!
Yay!
You wake up. You feel cold immediately around your bodies. You see this kind of steam or smoke kind of lifting away from your face like a veil. And you hear this weird mechanical sound. Woo, as some kind of piece of glass that was close to your face is now kind of moving away from your face. And off in the distance, you could swear you hear a crowd of people, maybe, or you smell strange. For those of you who have olfactory sense, you smell strange smells. You are quite confused. Any of the dreams you might have had previously are just that, dreams. They're quickly fading from your memory. They weren't real, or were they? Alec, you look down at yourself. You're kind of the first one to come out of it a little bit faster. You kind of look down at yourself, and you appear to be in the nude. Except there's something covering your body. You see this weird, from about mid-forearm up to your throat, and down your body all the way to about mid-calf. You have this weird black tattoo, or is it paint on your body? And it's covering your nudity completely. And there's weird yellow lines in it, almost like circuitry.
Oh. Does I tug at it? Does anything happen?
You feel it. It's like tugging it's like tugging on your skin. It doesn't come off.
Okay,
in fact, you touch your arm and you could feel everything through it as if it's your skin.
Interesting. So it's a black tattoo and then it hits my green skin.
Correct.
Okay, well, I will brush through my beautiful blue hair. I will hop out of the glass box and I'll take a look around.
Okay, you're like, whatever. You just jump right out.
Well, if it feels like skin and it could look like skin,
that it's my skin, I guess you say. Okay, Letty and Dos, you wake up and you have the exact, and Aurora, you wake up and you have the exact same kind of scenario. You are naked except for this weird skin, and strangely enough, Letty, I don't know how you naturally feel about being naked amongst people. You look around, there's a bunch of people lying in these giant kind of metal cylinders. They have yellow and blue lights on the sides of them. And the canopy of glass is opened, and they're all waking up and looking around and kind of looking at their hands, kind of confused. You're in a giant tent, and outside the tent, you could just barely see through the crack of the drapes. You could see people walking by. You could hear people talking in the distance.
If I lick my skin, does anything happen? Just like
This little woman kind of licks her skin, and yeah, you feel it. It doesn't taste anything. It tastes like skin.
Looks like we had a great party last night, guys.
Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of you. There's three of these pods kind of on the one side of the room, like that, and there's 3 pods on the other side of the room. On the other side of the room from Riva, Letty, and Dos is Aurora, which is Melissa's character. And then there's a man with dark skin. He's got black eyes. He's got 80s hair. He looks like this, except he's not wearing this tunic. But you see this dark skin on his arm? That's exactly what it looks like, at least for him.
Is he naked?
He is, yes.
Yes.
He's completely naked. He's looking around. You see, as soon as he notices you're looking at him, you see his face flushes. He looks quite embarrassed, and he covers his nudity. And when he does that, you see the skin magically gets more baggy, like spandex almost, and hides at least more of his body, as much as spandex hides, but it hides more than body paint, for example.
Okay, Aurora looks down.
Okay, you're in the pod beside this man, and beside you is a giant, huge man, bald head. He's got 3 eyes. He's got an eye in the middle of his forehead and 2 eyes here. He's got the same kind of stuff. He looks up. He goes, kind of grumbles, looks around. You all look kind of confused. Dose,
Hey, everybody.
Okay, you see this young man waving at you.
One hand is like cupping, and the other hand is waving. You know.
I'm just like okay with it. Just like,
What up, guys? Hi!
I turn around to give privacy. I'm sorry.
So the young boy who's cupping and waving and doesn't seem to care. He looks like this, except of course without the clothes. So he's got pale green skin, blue hair, kind of an elven look, slightly kind of an elfish look, and a happy-go-lucky kind of younger fella. Letty, seeing that you don't really care that you're naked, you're just standing there stretching. What do you look like?
okay, so I'm really, really small. I'm a little pixie character. I have beautiful long red hair, so long that it kind of gets in the way sometimes. I'm like, but I'm okay about it. I have green eyes, pointed ears, light blue skin on my face and hands. I'm very curvy as well. I usually wear a cat suit, but today I'm kind of just like, you know what? It's my birthday. So I want to match up the outfit. And I have a little cute tail as well. But predominantly, I'm very, very small.
Super tiny.
Excellent, thank you. Emmett, what does Dose look like?
Dose is a lanky alien humanoid. We've got like tall ears, a long prehensile tail, kind of like clawed feet, clawed hands, like a bluish kind of flop of hair on top of their head. Usually they are dressed like a absolute fashion disaster, but again, as apparently it's everyone's birthday, they are also in the nude, I guess, aside from which I guess, I don't know, how does the markings, like, how does it look on fur? Because Dose has fur for the most part, except for like on their face. And
on fur, it's as if someone spray painted your fur. And
okay.
the fur moves normally. It feels normal. It doesn't feel like it has anything on it. It feels silky smooth the way fur is supposed to feel. But around mid arm for you, and also mid calf, all the way up to your throat, covering the majority of your torso, abdomen, your body, the pelvic arch, all that, and down halfway through your tail as well.
Oh, okay.
You've got this black kind of. It's almost like it's underwater. It kind of moves. And if you focus on it, if you want to get more, you look at the naked little pixie, and you think, maybe I should have some clothes on, and then it immediately kind of puffs out almost like a sweatsuit, and totally covers your nudity. And you realize if you think about it, you can attenuate the skin weirdly. You could think, I want to be naked, and it sucks into your body, and it's like paint. Or you could think, I want to be fully clothed, and it kind of ruffles out, almost like you're in water. It kind of ruffles out, and it's not that fashionable. It looks like you're wearing a weird kind of skin-tight suit that kind of puffs out on your body, but it at least covers your nudity if you want to be more, if you're a little bit nervous about that.
You know, maybe that's what's in this season, like puffy suits.
Puffy cyber sweatsuits, maybe. Who
Yeah,
knows?
exactly. Like that could be in. You know, like it's like a tracksuit, but like sciencey. Right, so
It can be if you wish to focus on it that way, and it's kind of
perfect.
weird. All of you are kind of noticing this simultaneously, that you could attenuate this weird dark skin to be a little bit more modest, or you could be completely naked, like your body painted, like you just spray painted.
yeah. I don't think Dose really cares either. I mean, it's kind of like,
Okay, the man with the white streaks down his face and the black eyes immediately makes it a sweatsuit, and he seems to feel more comfortable. He seemed to be a little nervous, a little shy about being naked out there with Letty, for example, who's like, she's strutting around. This is fantastic. She's stretching. Aurora, what do you do?
Kind of poofing it in and out, in, out, in, out, just to see what it does. She moves her hair over to cover, then does that in and out, till it feels comfy. Probably slightly modest, yet still inviting.
In that magical way.
I feel like she could do that like mermaid thing where like they like have like the hair over like
Wrapped around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, you see the big man beside you. He's got a tooth, kind of sticking out of his lips. He got his three eyes kind of, as you're going in, out, on this upper region here, he kind of looks, and the man with the black eyes and white stripes, we'll call him Black Eyes for now. Black Eyes looks over and kind of notices that and immediately looks away, like he doesn't want to be invading your privacy.
I go in out till I find something comfy. Then I probably have
more like a spandex yoga pants kind of fit,
a little
like that.
puffier than that.
A little puffier than that, sure, okay. Kind of like a nice kind of track suit.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. It keeps you warm. It's interesting.
And
Okay.
Does the circuitry do anything?
Okay, you start
Do I have
pressing your
buttons?
arm. No, there's no buttons. You notice it's slightly different for all of you, and you notice on your rib cages, all of you have strange lines on your rib cages, but it's different for each one of you. They're unique.
Oh,
Oh,
how
guys.
fancy.
I notice Letty's in mine. Hey, we don't match.
I know, but look at this really cool thing that I can do. I saw you were doing it.
And Letty's like changing her wardrobe, just like
Okay, can I make it change colors?
Yes, when you focus your mind, it starts changing colors like a psychedelic kind of pattern.
Have like a rave.
You look so cool.
You don't know each other. In fact, you don't remember anything at all. Your first memories start right here in this room. You have no idea what your name is, who you are, where you're from, anything.
There's boys around and I'm naked.
Okay, Letty finally realizes, oh, wait a minute, there's boys here. You see Magnus is not looking at you. Sorry, you don't know his name is Magnus. Black Eyes is not looking at you. Black Eyes is like, okay, Aurora, okay, oh, turns around. I don't want to look at that. Trying to be nice.
Yeah. Dose just like steps out and like kind of like flashes like a nice like, hey there, and then like we're in a tent, right? Like we can leave presumably.
Yes, you can. So,
Are
like
there
I said,
clothes?
there are no clothes hanging here. There are weird, strange, huge, thick power cables that go to each of one of these pods, just lying on the dirty floor, which seems to be made of corrugated metal, hammered and sheeted together. The tent seems to be actually, now that you're getting a good look at it, really rather patched. You can see on either side. You can escape on either side. You would just open the curtains. You could walk out, and you see people walking by. You see a giant, huge figure. You'll hear it and feel it as well, kind of lumber by. And then there's a tiny figure carrying a huge bag behind them. Just then, the white eyes, Black Eyes with the white stripes, kind of almost like they remember something, and they jump out quickly of the pod and kind of hide behind it and kind of look around, and then he says, "What are we doing here?" The tarp on the right side suddenly opens, and you see three individuals walk in. They're between 4 to 7 feet tall. One's very tall. The other two are very short. They're completely clad in black all the way down their face. They're just showing their mouths. And the black kind of mimics kind of your dark skin in a way, but it's way more baggy. You don't think it's part of them. You think it's clothes on top. It stops mid forearm and mid calf. They're otherwise barefoot, and their feet are filthy and dirty. They all have different looking feet, different number of toes. One of them, the tall one, has a huge underbite like this, and the one on the right side is smiling like this, but you don't see the face. But it seems to be like a mirthless grin, just looking around like that.
like it.
And and they seem to be male-ish, maybe androgynous. You're not sure. And the one on the right is definitely a feminine form. And she has just a simple. In fact, her mouth is sewed shut. Okay, they walk
I
in.
think Letty runs behind the tallest person,
Can I
whoever's
get
in the
back?
room right now.
I want to get back in the pod and close the door.
Underbite goes. It talks to some kind of device on his wrist. I believe we found them. They start raising their hands up, and you see energy starts to build around their hands.
They came in the right side, correct?
Correct.
Exit left door.
Exit stage left.
That does not look good.
Okay, suddenly.
Dose tries to book it.
Okay, you guys run back. Suddenly, Magnus jumps up. They go. The black-clad intruders go, and they cast these weird green bolts at you. And the black-eyed guy just goes like this instinctively, and suddenly there's a force field in between him and you guys and them. the magic bounces off and leaks down and eats holes into the floor. You see one of the pods starts exploding with sparks, and all the as the ricochet from the magic of the 3 black ones, and they go and they cover their faces and they kind of get knocked down. The black guys with white stripes turns around and says, "Run!"
Yeah, you got it. he's already gone. Dos is gone.
Okay, you guys run through the flaps, and you're suddenly struck with noise and smells. You seem to be in some kind of agora, some kind of market.
Okay.
It's got lots of tent stalls and lots of corrugated metal. It doesn't seem to be very nice. It seems to be built out of pieces and scraps. You see individuals of every kind of description. They're tall, they're short. You see humanoids of different kind of shapes and sizes, every conceivable color. None of them look exceedingly rich, except for the occasional one where they don't have any dirt on them. They have nice kind of linens on and nice kind of clothes on, and they always seem to be walking with servants carrying a bunch of bags with them. Some are robots. You see like a box kind of float by. Looks at you and goes, "Ichupa." Keeps going. You see there's many different stalls and kind of very narrow kind of corridors you could run through if you wanted to run. Aurora, you feel for some reason like you need to keep all these people together, and you feel running down that particular corridor would be the best idea.
Everyone this way. I head down that one.
yeah, Dos is
Lady just
big.
like,
Safety in numbers, right? Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, Magnus runs out. He runs right into one of the noble people you're imagining. And the noble person goes, "Oh, terrible memory lost people." They wipe their shoulder. "Oh, I'm sorry." And then he turns and says, "Everyone, quickly, this way." And Aurora and Magnus, although you don't know their names yet, I'm just going to refer to them that way because it's easier. Black eyes and pretty green hair lady. They escort you down this one way. You see there's a big stall. There seems to be a giant man. You're guessing a giant creature. They've got a huge reptilian face with a beak and horns and kind of a fin in the back of their head. And they're huge. They're at least 8 foot tall and 6 foot wide. And they're ping. They seem to be smithing some metal. Ping, ping. You can hear the pinging sound and feel the heat coming from their forge. And that tent stall with corrugated metal is big enough you could easily hide behind it.
Yeah, I'm hiding with the Triceratops.
Yeah, I'm hiding too.
Okay, you all book it behind the corrugated metal. You're like, you all stop there. Your hearts are pounding. You're breathing really heavy.
Can I do like a cognitive empathy check? I just want to check of like the people around us to make sure we are going to be safe.
Sure. Okay.
Can I do that?
Yeah. So, well, I'll do the dice. What is? Here's a mechanism we'll use on the show often. So, what is the score you need to roll under? Gaia is a D100 base system, and usually you have to roll under for checks. What is your cognitive empathy, Letty?
My cognitive empathy is 50.
50. Okay, so you got a 50-50 shot of trying to read the faces of everybody around you. And you are way too winded and breathing way too heavy. With an 89, you fail. Womp womp. You're breathing way too heavy and you're way too stressed at the moment to be able to read the faces of the people around you.
Okay.
But after a couple seconds, it becomes obvious that no one in this agora seems to give two shits about who you are or what's going on or why there's naked people running around or half naked people running around, depending on how you've attenuated your dark skin. Okay, Magnus is looking at his hands like he's webbed with his webbed fingers, and he seems to be maximally surprised as to what he seems to be more surprised that magic came out of his hands than you guys are. Is everyone all right? He says.
What is going on?
No.
Does anyone know? Does anybody anything?
Yeah, no. Like a big no.
I don't know anything. I don't even remember going to sleep, or I don't know anything.
Was it
right?
sleep? I mean, like, you don't normally, like, well, at least with me, usually, like, when I go to sleep, I don't wake up with, like, paint, something, clothes, and, like, other people also, you know, kind of doing the same something, and then there's people that just, like, come in and, wow, magic.
I think what's more important right now is A, finding clothes, because...
Oh,
and two, less issues of clothes, but why did someone just try to, whatever that was?
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, usually when I wake up, I don't have people like, ah.
Black Eye says, someone just tried to kill us.
Oh no, I thought they were coming to like celebrate like a birthday party. Yeah, I think I got that, but like, why?
Did you guys do anything wrong? For someone? Because I don't think I did anything wrong. I'm too small to get into trouble.
I'm sure I didn't.
Black Eyes ignores the potential falsehood of what you just said, Letty. Sometimes tiny characters get into a lot of trouble. It just so happens that across the dirt, and everything's kind of like a dirt floor with like little a dirt ground actually, with little bits of puddles here and there. You look up and you're under a huge metallic roof. So this whole marketplace seems to be some kind of like tent city or some kind of shantyville inside of a huge, almost like a warehouse building, maybe you're guessing, or you're not really sure. But you don't see any sky. You know it's nighttime just by the darkness kind of around. You're guessing that. Just so happens that across from this weaponsmith stall is a clothes stall, and there's a bunch of kind of cloaks on racks. Magnus kind of looks and just kind of grabs a bunch of cloaks and kind of hands them to you. And the shopsmith for this shop is too far on the other side to really see. These are the lower quality clothes anyway. They probably don't care if anyone steals them. So he grabs just some blankets and some cloaks and says, "Here, cover up quickly."
So we're immediately doing crimes. That's what we're doing.
Yeah, we're starting with crime. Let's just get better from here, guys.
No, Dose is fine with this. Dose, yeah, that's fine.
Okay, Dose, you try on the cloak. You're like, oh, it doesn't look too bad. It's got a bunch of pockets. It's got a bunch of pockets in it. So you're like, oh, okay. Well, I could do it up like this, and all right, perfect.
Yeah, that was great.
Your tail comes out just perfectly. There's a slit in the back. You're like, oh, it was almost like it was made for a tailed individual.
Yeah, there you go.
Are these clothes are kind of not the best quality?
No. You look like a bunch of street urchins, like everybody else in this except for the nobles and the robots. Everybody else in this little agora.
Okay, Rory sees a noble person going by. Could we find that stall to?
Oh, you're disgusting! Oh, they walk away. You see the robot walking behind them. Looks at you. Keeps going.
Interesting crowd. Maybe we should ask somebody who's not them.
Yeah, let's ask someone that's more normal to us guys. Wait, didn't someone say that we'd lost our memory, right?
Yes.
Yes?
Okay, so maybe we should find a way of like getting it back.
Ooh, a memory store.
Yeah, there might be one. We could like steal something that helps us like get it back, maybe.
Okay, but after that crime, no more crime.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like at what point do we like draw the line of like what's a crime? Like where's the like, hey, this is bad, this is good, or like maybe we should just get the hell out of here and then decide like, oh man, I did a bad thing. Like, oh no.
Okay, before you start the philosophical discussion about crime, or just as you're starting the philosophical discussion, what is crime anyway? Really?
What is crime?
What is the essence of crime? You see, what are your sensory stats again? Who has a good sensory stat there?
Dose's highest one is touch. I know their sight is decent too.
My danger sense is 101. I do, if ambush applies, I have a plus from ambush.
I have 102 on vision.
Excellent. Letty, roll a d100.
79!
Yay, 79.
Yay!
Okay, so you rolled under, you made your vision check. Okay, Letty, they're starting to go into a long philosophical dissertation about the nature of crime and in emergency situations. And you kind of look past the corrugated wall where you came from, and you see the three black individuals who have smoke coming off them. The tall underbite one is kind of patting off the other two, and they come out. They kind of start looking around for you. You see the one with the sewed-up mouth, the woman with the sewed-up mouth, she just goes, and she points directly in your direction. And they start marching in your direction.
I don't think bad stuff is a bad thing to consider.
Guys, the three people that tried to like hurt us are coming after us. They're pointing at us, and we should go like this way. Okay? Just talk about crime on the way there. Let's just go.
Yeah. As soon as they are within sight, like without looking at anyone else, Dose is just going.
Okay. So
going.
Dose is in the middle of, and you see if you do this in an emergency, when they just take
gone.
off.
And they're
Boom.
gone.
Okay, you guys start running to the left through a cacophony of stalls. You're running past people. You knock one guy over. Hey, he turns and he points. You keep running through people and stalls. You turn around. It's easy to see the 7-foot tall one with the underbite. I'm going to call him underbite. They're walking, and they seem to stop and miss you, and then they all turn in the same direction, or at least that one does. They keep going. So you're running for a while and you stop, and they always seem to keep kind of finding you until you get into a larger area where there's much more TV screens and like robot pieces, and there's little flying robots buzzing around, and there's little robot cats and things walking around the ground. One goes meow and kind of meow.
I like that one.
Walking past you. You do, Aurora. You feel like you have almost kind of a natural affinity to some of these creatures.
I start going after the cat. Oh, kitty.
Okay, Black Eyes and White Line says, come this way, quickly.
But the cat. Okay.
Okay, the cat sits down and licks the two kind of weird metal tongues, licks its paw. Clink, clink.
I try to call it as I run.
Okay. I'll roll. Boom. Okay. You see that it goes, kind of cocks its head and starts following you at a distance.
Yes,
but it's not
a cat guy.
It's not coming towards you fast enough, but it might eventually get to you as you guys kind of dart behind some screens. Okay, you kind of look, Letty, you kind of peek up with your little pixie face, and you don't see them anywhere. You think you might have lost them for the time being. Your hearts are pounding in your chest. You're breathing quite deeply.
Can I roll like pattern recognition to see if I'd noticed like, oh hey, we went behind screens and now they're not following? Like,
sure. Roll a d100.
Doses is not very high, but
Aww.
let's see, 44. That makes it. So,
you can't. Maybe there's something about this area they can't find you. You think you just really gave it for the last 10 minutes of really seriously sprinting down corridors and just moving weird zigzag patterns, all kind of holding on to each other's cloaks so you don't lose each other. And you think you probably lost them just because you went through the highest. This area is much more walled off. There's huge piles of junk here or there, and it's like a maze almost. And if you don't go the right way, you have to backtrack and come around. This seems to be kind of like almost like a junk heap where people have been dumping computer parts, and it looks like people are rebuilding stuff out of them. You see there's this one woman across the aisle from you. She's got a table with all these little... She's the one with the cats, actually. She's made like 40 of them. They're like all over her. They're in her hair. They're jumping around. She's got crazy hair. She's got one eye on like a swivel, like she's like part cybernetic. She's got one eye on a swivel, and she kind of grabs it and dials it in and starts out of her fingers. The electricity comes out. She's working on a cat, tinkering on it.
Kara just starts walking over that way.
Okay. Black Eyes kind of grabs her cloak and says, I think we have to hide. I don't think it's safe.
I feel like the cat lady. Does she look very nice?
Not really. She looks a little ragged.
it doesn't mean she's not.
Talking to the cats. Oh, yes. I build you good. Ooh.
Well, she might
Maybe not.
Maybe.
Okay, there's less patrons in here as well. There are still 15 or 20 around.
Is there anyone else who has like similar like cyber woo-doo-doo-doo going on?
You mean the dark skins like you guys?
Yes. Yeah.
Very smart. +2 for thinking of that. In fact, you look around and you notice just about everybody, except for the robots, they all seem to have, whenever you can see out of their clothes up to their or whether they have their arms sleeves rolled up, you see they all have the exact same kind of weird skin coloring and the same kind of patterns, but all the patterns are different. You've never seen one that's exactly the same. You saw one person walked by in very skimpy, revealing clothing, and they had this same body paint, not attenuated for modesty at all, but they seemed to reveal in showing their good looks. It was an androgynous character. They walked by. In fact, you think they might have been selling some kinds of services.
Fair enough. Is there anyone like nearby that we could? It does look like we could be like, hey, what's going on? That's not like.
There's the crazy cat lady.
Cool, yeah. You know, despite Magnus's, hey, we should get out of here. Joe's gonna walk up to the cat lady and like lean forward on the table and be like,
okay.
Hey, so,
Yes. Oh, you want to buy a cat? I have many cats. I have cats for every situation.
Yes,
I have cats for
we'll take two.
I have cats
We'll take
for
two.
Gaia Day.
10.
I have cats for Praetor Day. I have cats for every day of the week.
cool. Maybe in a minute. Could you? Okay, maybe right now, but in a second. So like right now, but like in a second. So what's this? And Dos is pointing at their arm with like the markings.
That's your arm.
Yeah, I mean like the marks and the.
Ooh.
No.
They pick up a little dinosaur. They're working on this one. The markings? How do you mean the markings? On your arm? You mean your Gaia skin?
Yeah.
Skin.
It's your Gaia skin. What do you mean?
Okay, here's the thing. We just woke up in a tent,
Ooh.
and I don't know what the hell that means. So.
Ooh.
Hey, lady. Hey.
Yes.
Hi. Excuse me. We just.
Oh, you're a cute little one.
Thank you. We don't know where we are, and I don't know who these people are, and I don't know why most of us are kind of naked, and why we have like these cloaks and stuff. I'm really hungry, and I really want a cat. But why are we here? Who are we? And who are you? And
Can we have a cat?
Yes. Do you have something to trade?
we
She
don't
looks.
have our
She looks at you.
clothes.
You have nothing to trade. You look. You're even more junkery than I am. She laughs.
What a cloak.
Yeah. Dos takes off their cloak. Here.
Okay. She seems to take some pity on you. She goes, "Oh, you've had to sleep. You've had to sleep. Everyone wakes up after the sleep. Don't know who they are. Don't know who they are. Nope. I woke up after the sleep one time in the Jadam Sea. I was in the Jadam Sea for months. Couldn't find my way out. Then finally I found a caravan. I did. Yes, a caravan. Came to the core. I did. Came to the core. Fix it, damn you." She's trying to push the two dinosaurs together. Okay, Magnus is kind of standing there. You see there's like 80 TV screens behind her. They're all going off with different commercials. You see one come up with this crazy bunny. Ha! Eat the berry bunny bars. And he's eating all these bars. He's going crazy. Woo! He's running around in circles. It makes kind of a
Maddie
crazy...
grabs onto Magnus's coat and she's like, I'm kind of scared. I don't like her.
Okay. Black Eyes puts his arm on your shoulder and says, "Don't worry. We'll be all right." Riva, you notice on one of the TV screens, there seems to be like some kind of news broadcast. And today, in downtown core news, there has been an explosion. Praetor would like to make a statement. And everyone's talking. No one notices really except for you. Okay, you see this. You see this fella here, and you hear music behind him, like kind of like a heavenly kind of organ music. He says, "My dear Gaiazans, today the evil forces of the Coven created a terrible explosion in downtown Eager. But worry not. I will protect you as I have always protected you, and we will destroy the heathens and give their bodies up to the Thanateus."
What?
Well, at least he's on it.
And you notice while he's talking, they have like picture-in-picture kind of news. Like they have like a news ticker on the bottom. "Praetor says we'll be safe, and we all believe him. It is fantastic. Hail Praetor, hail Praetor." It says like that 5 times. And you see there's like pictures and pictures, and you see there's some kind of like a coffee shop, maybe like in like an opal cobblestone kind of area. It's very nice with round tables. It's much nicer than what it looks like here. And you see there's a huge explosion of green energy. And you're about just to look away because there's like 80 TVs to look at, and this one crazy cat lady is still trying to jam the dinosaurs together and fix them. And now she's trying to have them mate or something. You're not quite sure. And you notice out of the corner of your eye the tall 7-foot black-clad Mr. Underbite. He was in the news clipping, and he seemed to be casting this green energy, making explosions.
Okay, so that would lead me to believe he's part of the group that he was saying is not great.
Yes, that seems to be what the news is telling you. And the news never lies.
Nope.
Is that the feeling I get, or is that just you saying it?
No, that's just sarcasm from the GM.
Okay.
Although, how could you? He had heavenly music behind him and everything. That guy with the bald head, he must be telling the truth.
Does he...
Hail the Praetor. Everyone hail the Praetor.
Oh, so no. Never mind. That X's my question out.
Okay, I have a question. Do any of these words make sense? Like to any of us?
That's a good question. Another +1, Emmett. Yes, all the words make sense. You know how to run. You know how to walk. You felt like if you picked up this pad, there's a pad on the table there. looks like this. You feel if you picked it up, you know you believe you know how to use it, but you know there's no point because you don't know the password. But you know what a password is. So you have all your skills. You kind of know who you are, kind of like you know you're an androgynous creature. You feel like you, but you don't know who you are. You have no direct, distinct memories. You vaguely recall some kind of a dream, something about orcs or something, or cowboys or something. You can't remember. It's fading from memory. And something about someone telling you about the real Gaia or something.
So we know, I'm assuming we know our names, right? Maybe?
You think so? You think your name is Dos.
That sounds right.
Or it could be
in
something else. Magnus turns to you and says, "What's a Spanish?"
Yeah.
Do any of us look the same? Like, even with people around us?
That's another good
Ghost, I
question.
do.
+1, Aurora. The thing that is about this is that, no, actually, every single person you've seen looks slightly different. You haven't seen, other than general humanoid characteristics or general robotic characteristics, some look more female, some look more male, some look more androgynous, some look like a combination. No one looks exactly the same. You've never seen someone that you're like, oh, there's two of a pair. You haven't seen that yet, come to think of it. Everyone looks slightly different. And no one is like giving you a second look at all. They don't care you're wearing ragged clothes. They don't care that you have a tail or that you're tiny, a tiny pixie, or that you're a green-skinned young man. They don't, or that you have that the one that has white lines with black eyes that blink with nictitating membranes from the side. They don't give two craps about how you look. Or this is like a regular day. Everyone's just going about their business, and no one seems to be paying any attention really whatsoever.
I would like to see somebody who is the most capable around us, not the crazy cat lady, the most capable person, just on a basic, maybe better clothes. They have walk with a sense of purpose. Is there someone around us? Whoever it is, point me in their direction. I'm going to walk straight up to them, put my hand on their shoulder, and say, "Please, we all need your help. Can I borrow you for a minute?" And will the want to help onto them.
Okay. You do. Sadly, there's just so happens people have walked kind of out of the out of
no one?
Not at this time. They're kind of, like I said, this area of the agora seems to be a little bit more specialty, like people who want computer parts or something. And there's huge piles of garbage and computer parts and lots of robots around. It doesn't seem like people come in here as much. And there was other people in the alleyway, but they've kind of all dispersed at this time. Dos, you're talking to the crazy cat lady. She goes, this worked last week. I don't know why it doesn't work today. You're noticing the news thing is coming up again, and roll your sight.
21, which I think that makes it. Yes, that makes it.
Yes, your sight was quite high, as I recall. You notice the bald man is speaking again, and we will find these coven and we will impale them upon the altar of piety. And then you notice there's a reflection in the glossy of the TV, and you see a black hooded character with a big underbite, like this.
Oh.
The reflection is behind you.
Oh, yeah. Dos, without saying anything, whatever is the clearest path, books it.
Okay, you turn to book it, and everyone roll surprise, or danger sense. Bah, bah, bah.
Critical failure.
Oh, great. So in Gaia, critical failure is 96 to 100.
I got a critical success.
But not a critical success. Just the average.
Okay, Dos and Aurora, you have 4 knowledge. Aurora, you could feel them behind you. You feel the evil magic. You feel a cold tingle come run up and down your spine. And somehow you interpret that to mean that there is an evil power behind you. And Dos, you see them in the reflection, as I mentioned.
Whoever's beside me, I'm going to grab them.
Okay, that would be Riva.
Who?
That would be Riva, the boy. The green-skinned, blue-haired boy.
Yeah, I'm surprised I wouldn't. If I was looking around 4 people, would I have seen them approaching though? Or
you were looking down the alleyway this way, and they were coming from behind this way.
Gotcha.
So that's the exact reason why you didn't notice.
Sure. So do I fall, or are you? How strong are you to pull me?
Oh, I wouldn't worry about killing you. My
right.
plyometric mass is 37.
So she's below average fast twitch muscle.
I go,
Okay, so she wouldn't yank me off my feet or something.
No, but she does pull you just far enough to the side so that the magic lightning bolt from Mr. Underbite jolts past your head, sizzling some of the hair on the side of your face, and hits the cat lady in the face and burns her head off. She goes, ah! She falls on the ground. The cats go flying over.
not the cats.
I'm afraid so. Magnus turns and goes, stay back! And you see this old crackling black energy goes around him, and he just unleashes it, and he hits the 7-foot tall man and incinerates him to black smoke.
Damn.
He
Dose, despite this, is still running.
Yeah, okay, Dose, you're like, nice to know ya! You're like 20 paces down there, and you see one of the sewed up woman, Mouth Shut, I'll call her Mouth Shut. Mouth Shut steps aside from behind a junk pile and goes, to cast something. There's an alleyway you can dart down to the left.
Can I enlist the cat's help
Sure.
with summon constructs?
You may summon constructs. Aurora, you feel like the robots just talk to you, and you talk to them, and you feel like you might be able to rouse them in some way.
Cat, I choose you. Meow.
What do you have to roll under? And I'll roll here for you.
118.
118. Okay, so in Gaia, that means when you get over 100, when your stats go over 100, that means you get bonuses to criticals. So she criticals on a 1 to 18 as opposed to a 1 to 5. And she fails on a 96 to 100, and she rolls 33. That is a normal success. You focus your mind. Okay, you see this wind kind of starts to blow around Aurora, and this white and pink magic kind of sparkles around here. And you see it sparkling in the eyes of all the cats, and in fact, all the robots around her. There's hundreds of eyes sparkling all over the place. And like a story out of some myth, all the animals start following her like a little army of animals, and see all these little like hummingbird kind of, these little drones, this little UAV kind of robots. They all kind of come flying up. They go, they all go flying out. They go whipping past you, Dose, and they fly at Mouth Shut, and they're like buzzing at her. She goes, ah! She's screeching, and she casts a spell, blows one of them up. There's like 80 of them on her, and she's screeching around. Okay, Magnus is still standing there like this. He can't believe what came out of his hands. He's like,
I grab his hands. I go, it's okay. The kitties have got us. Come on. Okay, try to run the other way.
Okay, you pull him. He just goes with you. He seems to be a bit of a stupor at the moment. Okay,
internally, I'm like, but externally, I'm like, I got it.
Okay, you're pulling Riva with you. Riva, you're kind of looking around. So you're hurting two of them. Letty, do you follow them?
Yes, I'm just like, that's so cool. It's still running at the same time.
Okay, you're running. You guys all dart with Dose down the same alleyway that they were eventually going to dart down, and you start kind of running through more kind of stacks of garbage. You see behind you the Mr. Smiley, who's just always got this eating grin on their face like this. They're behind, and they call something out in a high-pitched kind of squeal, and you see this little robots jump up. They kind of go, da-da-da-da. They put like a cap on, like one puts a piece of tape on their head as a helmet. They're little 2-foot tall robots. They go, and they start coming at you with little butter knives, and one has a fork.
No, robots don't attack us.
Okay, you can use your constructs to fight back those constructs, or you could try to take control of them as well. But you'd have to roll a tug of war with the witch. And otherwise, you are in combat.
Ooh.
Blah, 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 blah. So everyone, share your screens. So as I said, Magnus is in a bit of a stupor and probably won't be able to go this round, but you see them coming. In Gaia, initiative is the highest roll wins, and you would add your attack plus a die roll. Ooh, they rolled high. They rolled 92. So they get 132 for initiative.
All right, Dose got 114.
I got 150 to keep the constructs attacking on my behalf.
Okay.
My army of cats.
Excellent. They walk up. They walk up and go, meow. And they keep going past you.
Help us, kitties!
At 108.
Okay, so Aurora, go ahead. Use your constructs.
I needed to roll under 118. And I rolled an 80.
A bunch of your cats go, "Meow," they kind of hunker down and meow, they leap at the two robots. Great. One of the cats jumps on the robot that has a tape as a helmet and bites the robot.
My construct does 79 points.
Wow, your construct is mighty. Okay, your construct goes
Cats are awesome.
and grabs and goes and rips the head off and goes spits it out and starts playing with the head, like chasing it on the ground. And he goes chases it off into a corner. The robot goes spins and falls on the ground. It has been slain.
Can another cat attack another robot?
Yep. Yeah, of course. You have one more base attack, and then if that's successful, you have 3 discretionary attacks.
I just rolled a 23, so that's successful.
Great. All right, that cat goes wow, jumps on the robot and bites into its throat, and you see a bunch of sparks and a bunch of wires get severed, and that robot goes, "Ew, I was learning how to love."
Oh no.
Oh no!
And it falls on the ground and drops its vicious fork it was going to attack you with one. The left tine was all bent out of shape. Okay. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. You have defeated the 2 evil little robots from Mr. Smiley.
Cats are so amazing.
Okay. Magnus is kind of looking around, and Aurora, you kind of turn and stand statuesque with all your kind of constructs kind of float around you and kind of make this halo as Mr. Smiley, the witch Mr. Smiley, is about a good 100 feet down the corridor from you. See, you can't see their eyes, you just see them smiling, but you can just tell that the hatred is beaming out from behind the mask, looking at you. And just then you see there's a puff of smoke, and another one shows up. And 2 more show up. And another one shows up.
Now might be the time to run.
Magnus says, "Run!"
Yep, Dose is running immediately.
Okay, your heart's still pounding, you're still breathing hard, your throat hurts, your lungs hurt from so much cardio. You kind of turn and you run into another big crowd of people, and now you see there's like some kind of driving crafts. You see people are on like bikes that seem to hover off the ground. They're all going really, really slow because it's like the kind of place where people just cross wherever they want, so the traffic has to go super, super slow. So you're not like gonna get in danger of being hit by a vehicle too hard, but at the same time you have to kind of dodge around the vehicles. There's like black, sleek speeders with tinted windows driving across, and one guy rolls down the window. "Hey, get off my speeder!" You kind of hit the hood of it. You're like, "Sorry." You keep going. You see guys with big black leather jackets, and they've got some kind of red cabal written in red paint. You hope it's paint on the back of their jackets. They got big, like, burly beards. One of them has 2 heads, a female head and a male head. They kind of kiss each other. They keep driving. Like Reva, you almost trip on that one. Like, it's kind of like a low rider kind of bike where their hands are really up high, and it's hovering off the ground with a blue kind of energy. And they go, "Hey, get off my bike, man." The chick says, "Yeah, get off our bike." You're like, "Oh, sorry."
Yeah, so okay.
Okay, you go.
I hate it here. I hate it here. This is so neat and cool and frustrating. I don't know.
It is indeed. Okay, suddenly this green energy goes shooting over them. The guys on the bike goes, "Oh shit!" They start speeding off. People scream. They keep running. "Oh, it's the coven! The coven!" They scream. They keep running around. See, people are darting. Terrorists! They're darting behind buildings. They're throwing over tables and darting behind them.
Is there a truck or a flat red version of these things that maybe we could all jump on and go away quickly?
Oh, all right. +1. Let's see. I'll roll. As it just so happens, there is.
Yes.
You see, it's not. It's kind of like that. It looks like it's kind of this long wagon of many different kind of compartments. It's only about 6 feet tall. It floats. It's 8 feet in the air. It floats 2 feet off the ground, and there are 3 compartments of just like. Imagine if a semi-trailer was way smaller and it only like could barely fit a human standing kind of in it, in kind of a quasi triangular shape with a rounded roof. And you see the 3 carts. The 2 last carts are open. The first cart is closed. You see it. You think an AI probably drives this because it doesn't have a driver, doesn't have a person around it. It seems to be driving itself. It's snaking through its way through the traffic as the traffic starts to peel out. One speeder, the jet black speeder, the guy goes, "Oh damn it!" He presses the button, and boom, his speeder takes up right off, flying straight up. It hits some wires. The wires start sparking all over the place. Chaos ensues. But you notice in this chaos, at the end of this wagon train, the carts are empty. You see in the first one, there's a bunch of hangars with clothes, but the last one is empty. You probably all could fit in there if you jumped in.
Guys, quick!
Okay, do you all make it for the wagon?
Yeah, if there's an out, Dos is taking it.
But you also think, for those of you who your effective empathy is higher than 50, people would start getting hit by these green bolts, and if they're aiming for you, that's partly your fault. You might feel a little guilty.
I'm good.
I'm on 50, so I'm just like,
I'm not.
Okay, you have average effective empathy of a typical humanoid.
I'm
But
almost
Riva,
crying.
I know you're Aurora's crying,
Yeah.
and Riva, I know you're a very empathic person, and so is Magnus actually.
So I'll just ask, should we just try and talk with him?
Magnus says no. He grabs you.
Yeah,
He
Dos
grabs
is
you by
at,
the cloak.
Like 35, so I think I'm good.
Yeah, you're a fairly callous individual, and you're like, meh. But it made sense why you just see you later, suckers. You were running
Yeah.
first. Okay, Aurora, you pull them all over. Okay, you have to roll agility to jump into the moving wagon, but it's not moving very quickly. You get a plus 30 to the roll.
Critical
Yep.
success.
Magnus
Magnus
needs to roll under 100. 96, that's a critical fail. Bwomp, bwomp, bwomp. Magnus says, "Everyone get in," and he trips and falls on the ground.
Fantastic. I will stand and maybe try and help him up, because I assume if he would have pulled me to the side, right? I'd
Yeah.
be next to him. Okay.
Who made their rolls?
I got a fail. A really bad fail.
Oh, what'd you roll?
I got exactly 96.
Okay, you Magnus actually hit you, and you both fell on the ground.
Thanks,
Oh,
dude.
man.
Riva, you stand there. You see 2 or 3 of the witches going through. You see the 7-foot-tall one is there again, even though you thought he got disintegrated. See, he's Underbite's picked up a being. Where did they go? Who? I don't even know what you're talking about. He throws it on the ground. Then he turns and looks, and he sees you.
Then I'll put my hands up so they don't hurt anybody else, and I'll say, "Hey, we're over!" And my voice will crack. Here!
All right, Riva, you're standing over them. The giant one faces off against you.
Hi! I don't have a plan.
Okay, he raises his finger, he points, and you see black energy starts to build at the end of his finger point.